And welcome back here to the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. We're getting ready to lift off here on the guys' side here of the doubleheader. Here for CHILES Timberwolves, number 7th ranked team in the state, coming down here to Florida High. Of course, CHILES Timberwolves, 12-2 season. And as you may think, the 12-2 record very indicative of the action here that we should see. Of course, they're going against the Florida High Seminoles, who, of course, a young, scrappy squad looking to get prepped and ready for the big district play upcoming. So, of course, Florida High is going to be in the garnet and gold tops, black shorts, and CHILES is going to be in all white. CHILES is going to be going right to left here to start us off in the first half. And Florida High, of course, going left to right on your streaming key. So thanks for coming aboard with us. However you may be joining us, whether mobily, on demand, live, however you may be doing so, thank you for coming aboard here for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Manager Joop here with VSN Tallahassee, and we're really excited about this one for what should be an entertaining Friday night showcase, second half of our doubleheader. Of course, some nice advance in play there. Will Blemon will be fouled here for Florida High. Give them a free kick right around midfield. Of course, to be taken by Brooks Hickman. Of course, if you remember Florida High from football season, that's a wide receiver, tight end, and kicker that you may see. Of course, known for his physicality. Coach Rico, we were able to catch up with him earlier in the week. He loves the physicality that Brooks brings to this squad and really helps their center back positioning. And he's going to be big in the performance here against CHILES, who loves to play some diagonal long balls and play in some dangerous areas. So Brooks is going to need a big game here for Florida High as they're thinking upset against the number 7 team in the state. CHILES, of course, solid offensively, good back line, tall back line as well. One of the biggest here in the Big Bend. Of course, offensively, which we'll get to in a little bit, led by Caleb Gaines, I believe he's got 15 netted on the season. Of course, we got some statistics we'd like to show you that we were able to pick up from Max Preps here earlier this season with Florida High. Little spell of attack here in the early going. Throw in deep, will get into the box. Look to be collected well, and a shot just wide of the mark there. An adventurous take here for Florida High early. I believe it was Robin Maldonado, leading goal scorer here for Florida High. Service out of the back here for the Timberwolves. Going to be picked up here by Florida High as a little bit chill starts to set in here for the second half of the doubleheader. Controlled and squared off here by Ward of the Timberwolves. Be collected back, tries to square it off here for Florida High. A little bit of a frenetic pace to this one as teams try to get organized. Florida High, some adventurous balls and try to play for the midfield, but CHILES looks intent on collapsing anything trying to go through the middle. Service over the top coming here for Florida High, scooped up well by the CHILES defensive line, looked to be controlled here by Noah Miller. Squares it on over to Buholtz. On to the perimeter here for the Timberwolves on the out touch line. Dropped off over the top here defensively. Headed down here well for the Timberwolves as they control it seemingly effortlessly around the field. Ward getting a touch here off the square ball. Looking to go down here near side. Nice send down the near sideline for Cade Stewart. He's a dangerous man on the attack here. Centering ball and a touch in the center of the field. Good save off the line there for Florida High, able to keep it out of the net. So it'll be a corner coming here from the near side for the Timberwolves. Looks like Noah Miller, the righty. So it'll be an in-swinger here from the near side. Dangerous positioning here for CHILES early. This one is headed and puts it in the back of the net. And the visitors on the board early in the 4th minute. Nice header off the corner here. Set plays and CHILES taking care of business. Looks to be Caleb Gaines, number 15. Puts it in the back of the net. Timberwolf goal here early. And the home squad of course, in an early deficit to the number 7 team in the state. But beautiful service there. Miller with the assist. And like we said, Gaines with the goal. And I believe that is Gaines' 16th score of the season. Florida High looking to recollect now on a little bit of a back foot with the early strike. And that was one thing. Chiles does hold a serious height advantage here against Florida High, utilizing that in the set play. Gaines able to punch it through here in just the 5th minute of action. Out for a Florida High throw. Looking to correct here is Osvaldo Gomez. One quickly back here by Chiles. Miller on possession. Will look to drop it off. Square coming here for Ward. Some nice lime green cleats here for Ward. Very identifiable. Squared off, cycled around. Here the formation. Buholtz get in touch right around midfield. Florida High will try to collect this one out from the side and will cycle back around. Some good touches over on the far side. Cervantes among others here for the Seminoles. This one looks to go out of play here and will be a Chiles throw-in over on the far side in the attacking half. Of course, early already with the early advantage for the Timberwolves. And it'll be a free kick here for Chiles. Just the 7th minute of action down in Southwood here for Florida High. Of course, if you're just joining us, Seminoles in the garnet and gold tops. Chiles in all white. Second ball here's going to be cleared out. Puts the laces on it. Rips it over the top. Good attempt there by Noah Miller. Aggressive take here from Chiles. And Coach Rico, when we talked to him, said Chiles is going to put the pressure on up top early and often. Definitely doing so here tonight. Small ball played out of the back. Tried to thread it through here for Florida High. Going to be one back here by Chiles. Look to go on the counterattack quickly. A little turn of pace. Quick touch. Trying to get it on his left foot. Shot attempt. Far post. Just wide. Looks like Noah Miller, the attempt there. Miller and Gaines putting in some good work once again here for Chiles. Going to be another corner kick. And Miller once again going to be on top of it. Substitution coming in here for the Timberwolves. As Miller looking to take this one again. Service going into the center. It's going to be won by Florida High. It's able to fall. Try to clear it out of the danger area as Gaines is able to collect this one. Good pursuit there for Florida High. As this one's going to be dumped back in. Gaines able to collect. Cycle back through here for the Timberwolves. Tries to switch through the middle here. Keenan June does well to step in front of that one. Get possession back here for the Seminoles. And a full head of steam here, looking to launch the counterattack. Tried to switch it back to June over on that far side, but able to scoop it up and be in position here. Chiles up to the task defensively. Cycles it through here, coming near side to Miller. Already with an assist here tonight. Off the corner kick. Here, 9th minute of action from Florida High. Squared off Miller all day if he wants to. Looking for that long diagonal ball. As is the scouting report for Chiles. Love to collect it there in that kind of defensive midfield. Looking for the strikers out wide. Try to hit those long balls over the top. Nice little turn of play here for Florida High. Tries to thread it through, collect it and square it off. Good little play there. Ariaza, a touch. He'll feed it out to the perimeter. Back to Chiles for a throw-in. Timberwolves, another substitution early here. There's a switch about on the back line. I believe it was Meyer coming in briefly, and Richardson back in here now. Here for the Chiles Timberwolves. As we have a little roster adjustment as we get the update here for Chiles. Looks like we're good to go here. As this one's going to be fed out wide. Will Hammond now trying to launch the attack here for Florida High. Centering ball is going to creep in about 8 yards out. Done well there by Chiles to handle that one. Quick throw out here to the perimeter. As a save by Alex Garcia. This one's going to be collected once again by Hammond. Nice little surge coming from him. It'll be one back by Chiles. Shot attempt from about 25. Good take there by Julian Cervantes. Will be into the hands, I believe it's Trent Harrison, 0-0 in goal here for Chiles. This one's launched off over the top. Excuse me, Garcia in net here for the Timberwolves. A couple of Florida High players colliding in the box. Keeper and one of the defensemen, both players still down here. Looks like a nasty collision as the referee and staff coming in to check on the players here. As the goalkeeper, Francisco Armijo, colliding with one of the center backs. Looks to be okay as they put back in field here, which is good to see both players pop up. I believe it was it Brooks Hickman, number 19, taking a tumble there with Armijo. And this one's going to be sent up here for Florida High, looking to respond after the early Chiles strike. Now that we've settled in, we're about 6-7 minutes removed from the goal off the corner kick here from the Timberwolves. As this one's spelled out here. Chiles throwing over on the far side, over by the Florida High bench. About 20 yards from goal. Depth-wise, here is Ward will come across the formation. And you got to wonder if he's trotting all the way over. If the Timberwolves try to set up a long throw here, everybody on the attacking front except for the 3 defenders and the keeper inside the box. Ward will take the long throw, has a go at it, bounces inside the box dangerously. Armijo up to the task there, keeps it out of danger. But a nice throw in by Ward, and it was indeed a dangerous possession there for Chiles off the long throw. Drops it on back, looking to control now. Here is Cervantes, a little bit of time. He'll square it off in midfield. Cycled around, touches by Maldonado. Onto the perimeter for Florida High, trying to thread it through to Hammond on the front line. Now 20 yards from goal, he'll play it out wide to the perimeter for Gomez, centering it back centrally, looking for June. It drops inside the box. Hammond with a shot on it, but it'll spill off the outside of his foot, and Garcia able to scoop it up there, but a nice sequence there by Florida High. As this one's dumped out of play. Here, quick throw in coming. Gomez looks to get things started for Florida High. Play held up. And it will be a Florida High free kick over here on the near side. Brooks Hickman to take it to center back. He tries to get numbers forward. A loose 4-man stack on the far side, about 15 yards from goal. And then Will Hammond, kind of that second wave over here on the near side. Twisting, towering ball. Spills just outside the near post here and it'll be out for a Chiles goal kick. And just a point of clarification, a little clear error on my part, is Alex Garcia in goal for Chiles. Francisco Armijo in goal for the Florida High Seminoles. Number 0 for Chiles, number 0-1 for Florida High. On back to the back line here for the Timberwolves. On over the near side for Gaines to Ward. Over the top, some good one-time service here. It'll be collected well by Elabash. Service over the top, very dangerous ball under the right foot, trying to go across Armijo. And a good effort there by Cade Stewart, just the outside of that near post here on the left-hand side. As Armijo in position, watch it roll wide here, 15th minute. Chiles continuing the offensive surge, and you can just see those dangerous diagonal long balls. Scouting report on cue here for the Timberwolves. Gaines squares it off, and then Chiles will drop it around a little bit to the man who gave him the assist, Noah Miller. Back to the back line as we cycle around here. Richardson, among others, for the Timberwolves. Hayden Curie, number 20, one of the captains here. Spilled it back out to Miller. Back to Richardson. Back to Curie. As Chiles more than content to control it with the back line. He's now getting into the attacking third here. A little dangerous positioning. Ball held up, and will be a Chiles free kick. Right on the attacking third there. Probably about 35 yards out. It's dead center, though, so unless you have kind of that training ground set play where you take somebody off the 18, do like a little give and go, you know, you probably have somebody with some leg with a little touch here that can put it on frame. But the way that Cade Swart is loading up, he just may have a go at this one. He takes it low, and it skims just outside of the near post here. And we'll be out for a goal kick here for Florida High as we get into the 17th minute here from Mike Hickman Stadium. As Armijo looks to get it going, like we said, number 17 in the state, Chiles, going against Florida High. Just one on the ground here. Both teams getting prepped for districts here coming up. That's a nice little physical play there. Maldonado getting it free here for Florida High. He'll be out of play as they look to back him up here, but a substitution coming for the Seminoles. Throw in on the Chiles side of the field. Quick ball, and it looks like it was deflected off of Florida High, so back out to, or excuse me, it looks like they caught a handball, skipped off one of the hands of the Florida High player, so they'll pull this one back. Free kick coming here for Chiles. My mistake. Misdiagnosis there. Carried to Ward as Chiles once again cycles it around the back. Little pressure here by Hammond of Florida High. Trying to jump start it. Hammond, one of the seniors here on the Florida High squad. They had their senior night earlier this season. I believe it was earlier this week. So we saw Florida High's senior night for the girls just before this game at halftime. Of course, the first half of the doubleheader. But the boys already completing theirs. Hammond, one of the seniors out here for Florida High. What has been a nice campaign. A lot of games. 20th match here for Florida High comparatively to just the 14th or the 15th for Chiles. So played 5 more matches, especially when you get down the stretch here in January and you pile up those 3-4 match weeks. Start to get some heavy legs here. Carey and Richardson once again content here for Chiles. Poke it around the back line as they're almost begging Florida High to come chase this one to try to open up some avenues in the midfield. Florida High does well to collect. Maldonado, good service up to the front end here. It's going to be brought down, served out. Ariaza, Hammond with some service looking for June. He's about 15 from frame, and he'll head it backwards. There, a tough ball to handle, but in dangerous position. Now Chiles instantly on the counterattack, tries to thread one through down along the far side. Elabash the target up top there, but Florida High able to dispel that attack. Service coming through the middle. June will square it out to the perimeter. Good effort here by Florida High, trying to dump it down centrally. Ariaza the target. Hammond in there defensively up for top. Chiles, adventurous spirit, trying to go over the top once again. Looking for the big man, Elabash. Armijo coming off the line here. He'll roll it out near side. As Florida High will try to build out of the back here. Comes some pressure by Elabash. Nifty little ball from Hickman as he chips it over the would-be pressure attacker there. And he'll win a free kick here for Florida High. Just on their side, depth-wise, about the level of the center circle as Hickman will tee this one up. Senior center back here for the Noles, and we'll get us rolling. Service into the attacking half, brought down well here by Maldonado. Trying to thread it through, and will tumble over the end line here for a Chiles goal kick. As we get into the 20th minute of action, we're about halfway home in the first half, so we will take a water break here from Florida High. Here in the Varsity Sports Network High School game of the week, Chiles with the 1-0 advantage thanks to the Caleb Gaines goal in the 5th minute, assisted by Noah Miller. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break here. Come back on the other side.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
And welcome back here to Florida High here down in Southwood on campus of the Seminoles. We're getting ready to get rock and rolling after the first half water break. So about a quarter of the way through the matchup here tonight. Chiles, as you can see, with the early advantage thanks to the 5th minute goal there by Caleb Gaines. Of course, when we get the opportunity, we will give a couple more statistics here on Gaines. Of course, number of goals so far this season, picking up right where he left off. So off and rolling here as Chiles going to build out of the back off the short goal kick. Garcia in the back line here for the Timberwolves, going to cycle it around. Richardson will be pressured there by Ariaza. June flicks it through once again. Ariaza the target here for Florida High, threading it through, looking for Gaines. Hickman will head it back to Armijo, and he'll pick it up and swing it out to the perimeter. So some quick action going. Neither of these teams wasting any time on the save, looking to counterattack. Osvaldo Gomez, nice little through ball, good bit of control there for Florida High. Service over the top, looking for Hammond. And it looks like they called him poaching there, called offsides here by the assistant referee on the near side. So good line held by the Chiles defense right there. And Carey will get things going once again here for the Timberwolves. Miller, of course, looks like he's playing a little defensive midfield here today with some good service. Obviously put it right on the money for the assist on that corner kick. Ariaza coming back to chase this one down. Good pressure as well by Julian Cervantes. On out to the perimeter, service over the top. Gaines in a foot race here with Gomez. And Gomez does well to shield Gaines out from any dangerous position here. And so it'll be out for a throw-in here on the near side. It looks like Hickman will come over to take this one here for Florida High. As this one's flicked onward on the near sideline, Miller will be able to collect it for Chiles. Poke free by Ariaza. Got a good touch with that right foot. Looking to turn around and launch his counterattack. Switch inside the field here, cutting it back against the grain. Over there, that's Cade Swart. Some service near side, looking for gains. Tries to cut it back, good positioning by Gomez. Hammond coming in with some pressure here, Gaines. Squares it, this one towards the center of the park now, looking to launch June on the counterattack here for Florida High. Threading it through is Ariaza. As he takes this one in the midfield, brings it back, tries to put it on his right foot, over the top, looking for Hammond. Ward up to the task here for Chiles. Collecting this one here, looking for some service for Florida High. June able to bring it down. Punctured out to the perimeter, tries a little quick turn. And this one's going to be spilled free by Chiles. We can hear some cheers from the visitor section to our right. Threading it through, looking for Elabash. It's spilled out of play here by Florida High. Out for a Chiles throw-in. Dropped it off back here and cycled back around to Richardson. And carry over to Ward here on the near side. A left back. And this defensive line definitely getting their touches here. Part of holding possession. Of course, with the style that Chiles likes to play, almost like a little cat and mouse. So they'll pass it around the back line until Florida High wants to go get it or gets bored just sitting around watching it all happen. And then they'll try to pull you out of position, dump it into the midfield, and that's when they try to burn you over the top with some of these long defensive balls. Ward, carry. Switches it over to the far side. Drops this one back to Richardson. Carey. Captain definitely getting his touches in tonight. Back to Ward. As here comes Will Hammond. Ariaza now in the area for Florida High. Little pseudo pressure as they just kind of usher it around the side. Make sure nothing dangerous happens. Florida High is a team that likes to hold possession too. So as a team who likes to possess and likes to kind of dictate terms, this can become a little irritating. And this one's going to be taken away here. Good win back here by Florida High. June squares it off. Nice ball, about 25 yards from goal. Florida High. He's got Hammond out wide if he wants him in support. Looks to go on frame. Headed for the upper 90. Fantastic save by Garcia. But a good-looking ball, just something out of nothing. Tees it up. Julian Cervantes has a shot on goal, and had not Garcia been up to the task, aware, alert, and in position, we'd be back at level pegging at one each. Good little bit of attack play there for Chiles. This one's going to be dumped back off to Armijo. Hammond will bring this one down, pressured by Gaines. He does well to win this one back for Chiles. Dumps it off to Ward. Service on the through ball. Armijo coming off the line. 15 yards from goal. Scoops it up right here on the fringe of the box there. Going to be one back here by Chiles. Buckholtz looking to launch the counterattack for the Timberwolves. Picks a head up. Service coming from Maldonado. Out wide. Service through Ariaza now. Through ball. Dangerous to Will Hammond. One-on-one with Garcia. Sliding effort. And we could see something come out of the pocket here. Hammond sliding into the keeper. Referee says no harm, no foul there. But a good attempt, and that's the most dangerous ball that we've seen from Florida High. So back-to-back little spills here. Cervantes with the shot on target, and then the nasty through ball to Hammond. Took Garcia off of his line. Two good quality chances here for Florida High. Chiles looking to reset things and cycle around. So Richardson gets some service here to the near side. Hits Gaines. One back here by Cervantes. Hammond will bring it down with the right foot. Back to fellow senior Hickman. Coming near side here for Florida High. Gomez to Hammond, and this one will be out of play. Ward will take the throw in for Chiles. Big throw as he looks to jumpstart the attack here. Elabash briefly in possession, but taken back by Gomez quickly here for Florida High. Possession on the ground, but here's a through ball with pace. Once again, targeting Ariaza. As they're looking to attack that middle here. And it looks like Ariaza is kind of that linchpin here for Florida High when they look to come out of the back. At least against this Chiles defensive front. They really like trying to hit Ariaza right before that defensive line, it looks like. Service on the far side. Chiles getting free, looking for gains in the middle. One well here by Florida High defensively. I believe it was Gomez able to punch it out there for the Seminoles. Florida High taking a tumble there, fraction on Chiles. And so the Seminoles about 25 yards from goal get a free kick on their defensive half. So get into the 29th minute of action here. Just under 12 minutes to go here in the opening half. This one's going to be quickly one back by Chiles. Looking to launch the counter attack. Have a little 3-on-5 now if they can work with it. Centering ball here. Dangerous position. Looking for Richie, I believe. I believe it was Richie, number 8. And a substitution coming in here for Chiles. As Richardson is going to take a seat. And it looks like when they do have corner kicks and an opportunity to substitute, that they do bring in the big man here, Hudson Mills. He is definitely a target with some height on him here in the middle of the park for Chiles. So Coach Brian McDonald trying to get a target here as a service coming from the far side. Tried to hit Mills. Armijo may have got a touch to it. Gomez, the second ball in the clearance. And it'll be a corner on the other side here for the Timberwolves. But the first attack dispelled here for Florida High. Good piece of defending, and Mills, of course, definitely a big target in the middle. Dangerous for a Chiles team who's got a lot of height. Oh, dangerous near post ball with pace here. Of course, skips out a play in the on the outside of the near post. The attempt there once again on the corner by Miller, who's put in some dangerous service here tonight. And Armijo going to get us rolling again here for Florida High. They like to drop on back. Cycle around here as we get into the later stages of this opening half. 31st minute here from Florida High. One back here by Chiles. Squared on off. Looking to get a dangerous through ball. Florida High does well to dispel that attack. Now advancing through, Ariaza. Look to possess a little bit. Spills it onto the perimeter. Here now from the wing. See what Florida High can do. Back to Ariaza. Into the attacking third. Hammond up on the front line. Looking to target him. But Chiles able to dispel that one. Cade Swart now in possession here for Chiles over on the far side. Good move. Nice little spell of attack. It's a little 4-on-6 here for Chiles. And they're going to say, referee thought about calling handball. He says ball to hand, play on. Look for Gomez and Hammond with a little give and go, but Chiles will win that one back. And send it on back to the outside. Dispossessed. Maldonado with some distribution here for Florida High. And it'll be a free kick here for the Noles on the attacking half of the field. So we get into the 32nd minute here in the first half. 8 and change to go here. Of course, official time reminding you, kept on the field by the referees, but our estimate here, different referee crew than we had for the girls' game. We did indeed get a quick whistle. Dangerous ball in the box. A couple Florida High players having a crack at it, tracking back, and infraction on the Seminoles will be a Chiles free kick coming out of the back, just about the 6-yard box. So the goalkeeper, Alex Garcia, will get us rolling here for Chiles. 33rd minute of action here from Florida High, playing it short. Service over the top here for the Timberwolves, going to leak through all the way here to the left forward position here for Gaines. Brooks Hickman able to backtrack and cover things up here for the Seminoles, but also able to save a throw-in, or save the corner and force the throw-in here for the Timberwolves. But quite the weapon here for Ward. He does have a nice long throw and is dangerous. They decide to go short this time. Centering ball, looking on the other side for Swart, but it'll be out of play for a Florida High goal kick. 33rd minute of action here, 7 and change to go here before halftime. Of course, Chiles with the advantage thanks to the 5th minute goal there by Caleb Gaines. I believe his 16th of the season. Armijo with a nice right-footed blast, and the keeper gets us rolling once again. Gomez and Ariaza. Or excuse me, it's Lopez and Ariaza. Lopez number 8, Andrew Lopez. This one's going to be dropped back here for Chiles. They get into the attacking third here. Nice little bit of possession here by Miller. It's to the outside looking for service. Has Gaines on the back post. Florida High dispels it initially. Secondary ball. Tries to sneak it in on the near post. Armijo in good position there. So it'll be out for a goal kick here for the Seminoles. 34th minute of action here down in Southwood. As Armijo will get us rolling once again. Gaines wins the initial ball here for Chiles. Lopez coming in to support. Brought down by Hammond. Looking for some service, but now we'll collect. And out of play here on the near side. They say last touch by Chiles. So it'll be a thrown over on the near side. Gomez will take it for the Seminoles. Of course, we're getting into the later stages here. The opening half as we get into the 35th minute. Toss on back. Hickman actually going to take the throw in as they do a late switch. And this one's going to be bring it back, and it was actually a call for a free kick, not a throw-in. So the center ref's going to draw it back and make Hickman put it on the turf and get things rolling here. As a senior looks to deliver here for Florida High, an opportunity 5 on the 18 right now. Service coming through. One initially here by Chiles. Opportunity to run as they launch out. Long ball in the middle. Does it get through? It does. Dangerous positioning. One-on-one battle. Armijo up to the task. Shot attempt there by Ritchie. But Francisco Armijo in great position and keeps us at 1-0. Coming out and forcing the issue against the Chiles attacker. Very dangerous positioning there. Armijo coming out and cutting off the angle. Now Ward will calmly throw it back here. 36 minutes of action in the second half of our doubleheader today. The number 7 team in the state, CHILES Timberwolves, coming down to Florida High for this matchup. Of course, these two teams played earlier in the season. Very early in the season. CHILES coming away with a victory in that matchup. But thing of note, a couple key players, including Brooks Hickman on the football team, still not with the soccer team. Of course, Florida High football side perennially making deep runs. CHILES, the aggressor here tonight, once again holding the advantage as we get to the 37th minute. Service, one here by Florida High, looking for a little turn of pace is Maldonado. Through ball stays with Florida High. Nice sliding effort by CHILES defensively. We'll go out for a Florida High throw-in. On the attacking side of the field, they'll look to collect, get numbers up a little bit. Last 3-ish minutes here of the first half. Of course, once again, just an estimation that we have here. Centering ball coming here back to Lopez. Cycle it back around to Hickman. Trying to set up, make sure they get everybody on side. Looking for a long ball. Ariaza with a little bit of control. And Chiles will dump it off. Ward looking to clear. One well by Lopez. Brought down here well by Cervantes. On back to the back line. Lopez back to goal here. Ping pongs back and forth on each side of midfield. Now a nice through ball looking for Ariaza once again. And Chiles looking to launch on the counterattack. Nice little bit of skill. Gets it up to Caleb Gaines. A little give and go here in the middle with Richie. Spilled out. Looking for some services. Hammond down the line. Finds a foot here for Florida High. Service over the top. Gomez tries to keep it in play. Centering ball, and they say just over the end line. But nice little build up there for Florida High. Nice little prodding effort. Perked the attention there of Alex Garcia, the goalkeeper for Chiles, in the back line. That's what you want to do. We'll see if they have, either team has another prodding effort here the last 90-ish seconds of the half. Brings this one down, dumped on back to Gomez. Good pursuit by the Chiles front line. Force the issue. Able to escape. Hammond looking for some service for the Seminoles. Finds a good left foot. Maldonado over the top. But great build up and just a little heavy. Had Garcia beat, but a little too much mustard on the hot dog. It'll be out for a Chiles goal kick here. And that was the instance just before the half, giving the Seminoles an opportunity. But pressing onward, they've had a good bit of spell here in the last 2+ minutes to try to steal one here before halftime and get this one level pegging. But I assume on the next long ball, the referee is going to call this one. This may be the last offensive surge here on this free kick. Chiles goes over the top, flicked onward. Armijo up to the task as the center ref takes a look at his watch. He'll spill it on out to the perimeter. And it looks like he'll let it ride. Lopez and the Seminoles looking to build out of the back. It's pumped out of play here for Chiles, or out of danger, excuse me. Looking for Elabash. Called upon the defense. Good pressure here. And over the end line, it looks like here for Elabash. And that is your halftime whistle. Chiles with the advantage thanks to the 5th-minute goal by Gaines. And we'll take that going into halftime here on the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Come on back with some first half wrap-up, and then we'll get you rocking and rolling into half number 2 here on the second half of the doubleheader here for Florida High. It's Chiles, the number 7 team in the state, 1, and Florida High 0 here, halfway home from Florida High.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted. Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted. Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
Welcome back to halftime here at the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Andrew Joop here, bringing you the action here from Florida High. Chiles, the number 7 team in the state, visiting Southwood here in a big Friday night contest here. Of course, it's the second half of our doubleheader here on the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Been a good one here early. Of course, Chiles, as you can see, with the 1-0 advantage. It was a quick strike off a set piece. Corner kick service was absolutely gorgeous from number 9, Noah Miller. And, of course, Caleb Gaines, the dangerous attack man here for Chiles, puts in his 16th goal of the season. Third assist for Miller on the year per Max Preps that we were able to check in on the break. But it's been a pretty even contest as far as the flow of things. Chiles, a couple of dangerous opportunities. Of course, the scouting report coming in was the long diagonal balls, right? Here from the defensive midfield and the back line, trying to get over the top, hit those strikers in space. And they're able to hold possession and try to manipulate Florida High a little bit out of position, which they have done a little bit, but Florida High on the other side able to launch some counterattacks. I don't think they're holding as much possession as they necessarily would like as a typically possession-holding team. They've done well to target Ariaza. Hammond on the perimeter has also had some great spells. He had a nice-looking ball on the backside, of course, that was just out of reach of one of the attacking players here for Florida High. But they've been able to put it on the front foot here. Julian Cervantes had a really nice-looking shot attempt here, and, you know, 1 or 2 bounces the other way. I think Florida High is right in striking distance, right where they want to be here against Chiles, the number 7 team in the state. But, of course, it's always nice to get some opportunities, but you got to put in the back of the net when you get a chance. So we'll look forward to an exciting second half, see if Chiles can break this one open a little bit, or does Florida High clap back here and maybe even this one up. But it's been a really good competition. I like the back line, the aggressiveness here for Florida High. The one jarring thing, or the one that sticks out, is the height differential here between Chiles, especially on set plays. We saw it play out in the goal, but that's going to be a huge advantage, especially on the long throw attempts here from Ward that we've seen from Chiles. Put them in a couple dangerous positions, as well as some substitutional flow that we've seen Coach BMAC, Coach McDonald implement here from Chiles. Schematically very on top of it, and a good little mix of blend there from Chiles. They look like a strong, confident team, but Florida High some glimpses of greatness, and they're not too far off here. So this will be a really exciting second half. I'm looking forward to what both teams can do. So as I cycle back around here, we were talking about those statistics that we'll get to in just a minute. But first, I got to shout out our seniors here for Florida High. Of course, we had the senior night going for the Florida High girls, and the senior night for Florida High happened earlier, I believe, this week. But the media team over at Florida High Soccer gave us these dope-looking senior pictures, so we had to use them, had to pipe them up. So just a shout-out to the seniors. You can see Will Hammond, Francisco Armijo, Alex Nino, Brooks Hickman, the gang there being showcased there on senior night. Of course, if you were here for the girls' game, you already know Ava Dubois, Mehetzi Martinez, Molly Russell, and Annabelle Williamson being honored as well tonight. But before we get back and roll into that, we were talking about your primetime players, right? Of course, we didn't get to it on the showcase here in the pregame just because the doubleheader was backed up pretty intensely. You can see Caleb Gaines, the user profile picture there, coming in with 15 goals, obviously got his 16th. So he now has 35 points on this season. 16 goals, 3 assists. Over on the other side, we've seen the senior Will Hammond be dangerous in possession here for Florida High. He's got 14 points of his own, including 10 assists here for the Seminoles. So we're going to get ready to get rocking and rolling here as the team's looking like they're ready to saunter on here to the field as we get ready for half number 2 here as we pipe it back up and we try to get things rolling here. Of course, it will be start of the second half here from Florida High, as you can now see on your screen. Of course, we will reset this one. We are at the 40-minute mark officially, so make sure we'll get that up to date for you as well. But there you go. Of course, the halftime report being given to you here. It's the CHILES Timberwolves and the Florida High Seminoles here at the break. Like we said, CHILES number 7 ranked team in the state. 12 big wins, only 2 defeats. Over on the other side, Florida High 10-7-2 coming into this one. But really kind of hitting their stride as of late. Young team, scrappy team with a number of freshmen in key contributing spots here for Florida High, including Keenan June, who we've seen out here today. So we'll look to get this graphic out of the way for you and get the second half rocking and rolling as Florida High will start us off here to start half number 2. Of course, the advantage to the Timberwolves. If you're just joining us, 5th-minute goal, 16th of the year. Caleb Gaines, assist from Noah Miller on a corner kick. Ariaza get us rolling here for Florida High, who had a good first half. Was kind of the linchpin of that offensive attack, looking to target him early and often. There's a service coming from near side. Palacios here, the left back, getting a touch early to start us off here. Looking for some service on the far side. It's going to be spilled out of play. Florida High throw-in. Gomez centrally to Cervantes. Probably had the most dangerous shot attempt here for Florida High in that opening half. A ball destined for glory. But Garcia, with a fantastic save for CHILES, had other ideas. Nice diagonal long ball here for the Timberwolves, giving good chase. It's Cade Swart now on the attack. Tries to get it over to his left foot. Ball on the ground. Goes across looking for Elabash. And it'll be Gomez to clear it out of the back here for the Seminoles. CHILES is able to collect, cycle back around. Ward with a couple touches. And it'll be out of play back to Florida High. As a chill has started to set in that first half. Sun fully set, of course. Had the sun for the vast majority of the girls' game here, the first half of our doubleheader. Here in the second half, little chill coming in Southwood. A little slickness starting to settle in, and here comes a nice counterattack going for Florida High as they pick off one from the defense of CHILES. It was Hammond leading that attack. Through ball here coming to CHILES. Look to switch it across. Swart, the intended target. Armijo out of the box, but does well with the feet to keep that one out of danger. So a little back and forth. Here we go to start the second half. Definitely some energy piped into the boys here as the chill starts to settle in. Maldonado giving pressure on the front line. This one back Swart. Great defensive positioning there by Hickman to make sure Armijo gets that one safely. Shielding the dangerous attack. That's one of those little things that often goes under the radar, but big time play. Keeping that pressure away from your keeper as often as possible. Through ball looking for Arriaza. Carey is going to give chase here, and looks like it's out of play right in front of the Florida High bench. So Hammond lets it go. Gives to Gomez. Tries to flick it on, but this one will go over the end line out for a Chiles goal kick. As we'll get a goal kick here for the Timberwolves coming near side. Out of the back here for the Timberwolves. Gets it to the front line. Good step by Hickman, collected by Buckholz. Here the Timberwolves. Thread it back through to the defensive midfield. Look to cycle around here to the back line. Everybody getting some touches here for Chiles. Isaac Mayer. Here, number 16 for the Timberwolves. Here, right back in the second half. Threaded through, good takeaway there. Cervantes on the attack. It's a 4-on-5 if they can use the numbers. Dumped out to the perimeter. Hammond trying to cut it back. On his left foot, service off the outside of his foot. Back to Chiles here as they look to plug this one away, but recovered quickly here by Florida High. Lopez with a little bit of control, puts it back onto his right foot. And a challenge from the back on Buckholz. And Buckholz draws a yellow. So, of course, high school get a yellow, got to sit. So, substitution coming on here for Buckholz. Free kick here for Florida High. This one's got some distance on it. It's probably like 35, 40 yards from this point. You really don't have a go unless you're feeling really confident. And this one's going to be served in. No shot attempt on target there, but Arriaza, dangerous win here. And the infraction called on Arriaza. Looks like the man in the middle. Says a little bit of a reckless play there. And that's how they'll call that one. We'll leave it at that. As Garcia will look to get us rolling out of the back here for Chiles. On up top is Chiles now with a little bit of control in the offensive attack. Good takeaway from Hickman. Chiles wins it back instantly. And now a little jousting here in the midfield as the teams trade possessions. Now looking to build out of the back. Here for Florida High, Robert Blenman trying to thread it up. Nice little bit of work. And here's that possession that Coach Rico told us about that they like to do. Has a little bit of close control. A little cross-field pass, able to successfully land. A little bit of class. How about him and Gomez over on the far side? A little skill showcase there. So we have a little hold up here, drawing it back. Hickman looking like he's ready for the long throw on the far side. Gets it rolling, it will be headed free. Secondary ball to be flicked onward on the ground. Garcia up to the task. And if you are wondering, yes, the namesake of the center back, Brooks, the stadium is named after his grandfather, historic football coach here for Florida High. Puts this one on the ground, threaded through. Nice little piece of class. It's Hammond. He's got a one-on-one shot attempt. Garcia up to the save here. But good little spell for Florida High, and they seem to be the more threatening team here in the last couple minutes. Elabash tries to flick it onward. Florida High win this back quickly, and we can see them getting a little comfort here. Now that they've got a little possession, it seems that Florida High has a little more pep in the step. Switch, looking for Hammond. Chiles looking to bring it down to the back. Gonzalez. This one's going to be picked off here by Florida High. Looks like Gomez. And a little bit of hand play there will give Florida High a free kick. Numbers going forward. 3 attackers will be on the back line of the Chiles defense. And a 4th coming here as Cervantes gets in the mix. Hammond coming in, 5, 6 players now, 20 yards and in here for the Seminoles on this long ball. Contested ball's on the ground. Cervantes does after a touch inside the box, and Florida High puts it in the back of the net. And it looks like we are at level pegging here. 48th minute. 1-1 from Florida High. Beautiful piece of balls. That one was scrounging around, hit on the box. Cervantes in the area. Scrappy play. We saw Florida High with the opportunity, surging forward. And Maldonado here with a tip of the cap to the crowd, partially to give thanks for the cheers, partially to let people know that he was indeed the goal scorer here in the 49th minute. So just like that, we are level at 1-1. Florida High level pegging with the number 7 team in the state. Service over the top. Hickman does well to win it here, and you started to feel it. Once Florida High was getting a little bit of possession, they seemed to get a little more comfort within the game, and now they're full bore here. Ariaza tripped up on the fringe of the attacking third. Chiles is none too pleased about this. Florida High once again going to get some numbers forward. A little bit of intensity getting ratcheted up here on Southwood. This is North Side versus South Side here. Chiles is the big dog here in the Big Bend. No doubt about it. Florida High wants to take a couple chips at Goliath when they have a chance. Hickman on the ball now. He's about 40 from goal, so you're probably not going to see a shot attempt. He wants it, though. Hickman. How about the kicker of the football team? Almost puts that one through the uprights. Good power there, but Chiles will be glad to take the goal kick. And you can feel the chill set in, the intensity starting to pick up a little bit, starting to feel like a playoff soccer atmosphere down here in Southwood as both of these teams get ready to prep for districts. Ariaza with a nice little turn here, trying to thread it through to Hammond. One back well here by the Timberwolves, flicked through, and Hickman will track back and dump it out of play, back by the Chiles coaching staff. Get into the 51st minute of action here. We will go full 80. If you were joining us for the first game of the doubleheader, a little bit of an oddity for the girls' game. Because of senior night, they actually clipped 5 minutes off of each half, so they played a 70-minute game, something that you don't often see here. But, you know, there's a flexibility. Both teams on the same page. Everybody said it was cool, so play on. And a little bit of offside on the free kick. The assistant referee with the hand up, about 12 yards from goal. So it'll be a free kick coming out of the back here for the Seminoles. Of course, a dangerous positioning. Anytime Chiles has a set play here, you got to think that the Seminole ears perk up a little more. Just the natural height advantage here for Chiles proves threatening as it did back in the 5th minute, but really settling into their own is Florida High here, getting a little bit more possession, able to kind of dictate terms, and it's served them well. Maldonado, the goal scorer, here in the 49th minute, looking to thread it through here. Maldonado's back on the ball, tries to chip it over the top here. Service out wide, going centrally once again, looking for Ariaza. Chip back down, Ward getting some touches here off the service from Gonzalez from Chiles. Pressure being put on by Maldonado. Ooh, nice sliding effort to win the challenge, but out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Chiles. Substitution coming in for the Timberwolves. Over on the far side. Cannot see the number. So we'll try to keep you updated once we're able to get the number there and see, give credit to the young man. Putting in work out there on a Friday night. Chiles, a little bit of a counterattack, trying to thread it through the middle in between 3 defenders. Cade Sword! And they say foul offensively. And the Chiles attacking line is dismayed here. They want an explanation, as do the fans on the right side of the bleachers over in the visitor section. I'd be interested to watch that one back. But they'll put it on Swart. He was in the middle of a Seminole triangle there. It was a 1-on-3. Swart with some potential to slide through, maybe come up with something dangerous. Of course, a good ball player last year. I believe he's a junior this year. Put up a sensational season last year. Free kick coming for Armijo and Florida High. We're all level at 1 here. 54th minute of action down here. Florida High been a good game. Chiles controlled most of the first half. Looks like Florida High doing so in half number 2. And the scores reflect that. Chiles getting an early first half goal. Florida High. Maldonado from 30 plus. Shot attempt on frame. Garcia up to the task there. Big right-footed blast here by the Chiles keeper. Getting up to the front line. Initially won well by Florida High. This one's going to be poked free. Blenman getting the touch there as they joust around. And Chiles will win it back. Gaines coming back to midfield. This one spilled out wide once again for Florida High. Trying to break down. Good little piece of skill here. Oh, how about Gaines? Goes behind his plant foot. And Chiles tries to launch a counterattack. Good service over the top. Looking for Elabash. Swart once again on the attack. He's trying to go down the line, trying to angle inside the 18. Service into the middle. Right-footed attempt. Armijo is there. Good little build-up from Chiles, and you can see just like that, the number 7 team in the state snaps back into it. Good switch by Swart. And it looks like we have a card being issued here on Gaines, the goal scorer for Chiles. I believe he was showing the yellow, and so it looks like get a substitution. Richie, number 8, will now step in here for Chiles as Gaines takes a breather. So a couple yellow cards picked up in the second half. Buckholtz and Gaines each sitting on yellow for the Timberwolves. So we'll try to keep an eye out on that one. Hammond tries to collect it here for Florida High. Chiles does well to track back in traffic. Heavy challenge play on. Blenman here with the win, looking to thread it through. That was, of course, Will Blenman. His brother Robert also on the team. Long ball here by Chiles. The intensity is palpable here now that we're starting to get a couple cards into the mix. You can feel it picking up. Play is a little more physical. Every end, every challenge has a little bit more grit to it. Every 50-50 ball seems to be a little more contested here than the previous 50 minutes or so. What you'd expect here in a big Friday night showcase. Of course, 2 solid Big Bend teams gearing up for the postseason. Districts on the horizon, playoff aspirations. A good matchup here. Of course, both these teams in Tallahassee, but Southwood so far down here in the southeast and Chiles so far up by the border. Depending on the time of day, it could be like a 45-minute drive between these 2 campuses, both still in the city limits. Gomez with a nice little cutback of class here. And this will be a good sliding recovery there by Chiles. I believe it was Buckholtz. Excuse me, Bowden, I believe, number 11. He's the new substitute. It came in quite some time ago with the long sleeves. I was trying to get a number on. So it'll be a goal kick here for Chiles as we get into the 58th minute of action. Big boot up top here. Hammond will try to collect this one down out of play, so Ward will take the throw for Chiles. Timberwolves will get some numbers up here. Long throw is going to be won back by Florida High. Try to start the counterattack. Chiles will poke it free. A little back and forth. We ping pong around midfield. Through ball here. Nice little outside of the right foot ball there. Able to hit Maldonado. A little too heavy on that second to last touch. Unable to get it centrally in play. Once again, a nice surge here by Florida High, but how about Chiles? Looks to start quick on the counterattack. Over on the other side, Timberwolves get it rocking and rolling. Mayer here on the near side, getting some good possession, threaded through. Nice ball here for Chiles. Hickman able to clean it up on the back line. Service over on the far side, trying to hit that overlapping run, but will be dispelled here by the Florida High defense. It's long service over the top, looking for Swart. Secondary ball goes across the 18. Good little setup there for Chiles. Initially dispelled by Florida High, but they'll look to collect. Mayer once again, nice ball on the fringe of the 18. Elebash tries to flick it on. And here's the man with the assist, Noah Miller. Florida High able to win it back on the fringe of the defensive third. A little bit heavy through ball, and Chiles will look to recollect. And this is what we kind of saw earlier in the first half. Chiles holding a little more possession here than they had been in the early stages of the second half. As Gomez blasts that one out of play up over the track. A little more oomph to that. And here we go, dangerous position. Set play. Ward has got a nice long throw here for Chiles. This is a bona fide attacking opportunity here for the Timberwolves. Gets it about 6 yards deep. Here comes a deflection over the top. And it looks like Armijo got a touch to it. Did just enough to keep it out of the dangerous area. But it'll set up a corner kick here for the Timberwolves. Substitution coming in here for Chiles, and it looks like they will get that set play where they take out one of their center backs, and then they put in the big Hudson Mills. Number 22, near post run. Florida High up to the task. They'll head it in. Secondary ball's pumped out to Ward. Secondary service towards the middle. Armijo able to punch it out. Mills in possession here. Cycle it back around. Mayer with some touches and a centering ball back to Carey. Cycle back around to Ward. Ward with another service on the top of the 18. Initial ball won by Florida High. Free kick coming out of the back. About 19 yards out from the line. Knowles will start to get some service. New substitution, William Simpson here on the near side. I believe he's a new substitute. If we missed him earlier, that's my bad. Number 15 here, while we got an opportunity. When you see the numbers, you got to give them a shout out. You never know when you're not going to see them. Through ball, trying to get through here. Ward stepping well defensively here for the Timberwolves. A little overlap and run here in the midfield. Service over the top. Once again, looking for Swart on that long diagonal ball. He does well. Oh, great cutback. And it'll be a hold-up free kick. Has defensive foul here, Palacios. And look like Swart holding his right knee. In pain. Staying down for a while as we have a little conference here. Medical staff for Florida High coming over to take a gander at him. As he looks to be up. Came up a little gimpy, it looked like, but seems to be all right as he saunters back. We get into the 62nd minute. Looks like a little stinger. You know, in the professional levels, you're almost waiting for the medical staff to come over and give them the magic spray. Of course, no spray there for Swart, but Noah Miller, dangerous attackman. Once again, key sequence here for Chiles. Set plays are huge for the Timberwolves. Service is going to get right dead center of the goal, about 4 yards out. This one will fall back to Miller. Pursuit coming from Florida High defensively. Lopez putting on the pressure, tries to hit Swart down the line. He tries to cut the corner, and a good bit of defense there. Cutting in is Robert Blemman, but it'll set up a corner. Once again, dangerous. Once again, Chiles with the corner kick substitution. Here comes Mills, but just as we were about to get it rocking and rolling, they have a water break here as we're just over halfway home here, the second half at Florida High. Chiles and Florida High all knotted up at 1 apiece. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Come right on back on the other side here. Varsity Sports Network Game of the Week.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
Good timing for that substitution here for Chiles as Ward, good with the long throws, gets it to about the near post, about 8 yards deep. Florida High is going to deflect it out of play here. Look to cycle around, send it, flicked onward. Armijo up to the task. Dangerous looking ball. I think it was Bowden that got a head to it. A nasty little flick on in a dangerous position here for Chiles. Armijo done well here to be in position. First ball won by Chiles. Nice little control from Gaines. Tries to send it up top, looking for Elebash. Secondary ball. Chiles able to collect that one. Square it off to Gaines. Some more service. Looking for the backside. It drops. Armijo once again off the line. Had to have that one. So he's in no rush to launch this one off as Chiles is able to collect it. Cycles back through, and this one's dumped out of play. As we're getting down into it now here. Look about the 73rd minute. This one's threaded through and out for, oh, it looked like it was going to go out, but Armijo keeps it in play just to force the issue and make the Chiles defender come get that one. And he'll launch it away. One here well in the air here by the Timberwolves. Cycle back here, out for a Chiles throw. They'll look to get it rolling once again, looking for Swart. One out of the air by Lopez, over the head by Cervantes. Mayer brings it down, squared on off to Malloy. Carey, Ward, all touches on the back line here for the Timberwolves. Right-footed service, a screamer, gets up to the front line to Elebash. Good service by Ward out of the back. Lopez gets a foot in there. Elebash maintains possession, gets it on his right foot. 25 yards from frame, and it is out of play. It's a last touch by Chiles. This will be a Florida High goal kick here. So we're getting close into it, probably about 6-ish minutes from time. We had a little bit of a delay coming out from one of the water breaks. So once again, unofficial time, but based on what we can anticipate, I believe there's right around 6 to go here. Armijo will give it a ride. One initially by Chiles, but unable to control his Swart. Did a good job of attacking there for the Timberwolves. And Florida High in no rush. Switch on the throw-in here. Robert Blemon will get it rolling. And it's piped out of play there. Last touch by the Timberwolves. Maldonado will hand it off to Blenman once again. So we're looking about 5 and change to go here. Unofficially. Throw down up the line. Chiles will win it. Sword on it. Heavy challenge there. He's chopped down. Oh, referee wants to go into his pocket here. And Robert Blenman's going to pick up yellow. I believe that's the first one in the book here for Florida High. Malloy looking to give this one a ride just inside the attacking half for the Timberwolves. 6 Timberwolves riding the back line right now on the 18. Service will go to the backside. It gets through. Gaines chasing after it. Gaines and Hickman jousting back there, but it goes over the end line, and Florida High will come away with the goal kick. Substitution coming here for the Noles. Looks like Blenman will come back in after his mandatory substitution off the card. As Robert will come back in, it looks like Gomez will take a seat. Armijo is going to launch it from the far side here. Looking for, it looks like Lopez over on the far side. And it should be a free kick as they put this one on the turf. Buckholt's going to come back looking for some service. 5 Timberwolves in, and here comes Mayer late to the party, so it's 6 now. All back stack here on the 18. Looking for some long service. And it's going to twist towards the near post, flaring off well. Chiles had it covered, but Florida High up to the task. Ward and Lopez collide on the fringe of the attacking third. Florida High comes away with the ball, and Maldonado tries to thread this one through. And chopped down here, earning a Florida High free kick. And it's a yellow on carry. So he quickly sprints off as we have a substitution. I believe it's Robertson coming back in, or Richardson, excuse me, coming back in for the Timberwolves, number 3. But a splendid opportunity here. Florida High probably about 50 yards from frame. 6 Seminoles on the 18 box are in the area. Hickman with some service will get to the 18. First one by Chiles, rumbling around in the box. Second ball's going to be won back by Florida High. And a call for penalty, and the referee says play on. I believe it was Lopez went down in the box. The man in the middle says nothing doing. And here's a deflection. How about this turn of sequence? Chiles now with a 1-on-3 counterattack at Sword. He's getting some reinforcements, tries a little step over. Armijo slides in. Big save for the man between the posts. Sword tumbles over the top. And by our count, just a couple minutes left in this one. But a dangerous sequence, of course, a Florida High player going down in the box. It looked like Lopez with a chance at, and then all of a sudden Chiles is on the other end. Swart tries to go for a glory run, has a splendid opportunity, so action at both ends here down the stretch. Still 1-1. Richardson playing it out of the back. Pressure from Florida High is going to win Chiles a free kick there. Unofficially, I believe we have about 90 seconds. But of course, referees keeping it official for the record. Estimate best we can do here. Nice ball. It's going to get all the way up to the 18. Great service there from Chiles. I believe it was Ritchie. It pumped it in. Trying to clear it as Florida High, but Elabash able to recover the pieces temporarily. Florida High cycling it through. Ward now with a little turn of play. Cutting back to the interior service, looking for gains. The goal scorer dumps it on back to Swart on his right foot. Sliding effort coming through Armijo. Cervantes putting some pressure on defensively, but Francisco Armijo up to the task again. We're still level. Our unofficial count is about 45 seconds here remaining in this one. Swart. Oh. A little bit of gamesmanship by the junior. Bodies continuing to hit the floor. Hickman called on the foul. Florida High doesn't like it. Chiles. Now this is a golden opportunity right here for the Timberwolves. You're within 25 yards. If you've got somebody with a little whip on the free kick that can get it up and down, I think you go at goal here. See if Miller, who we saw has fantastic placement based on that corner kick, this may be, according to our count, this may be the last chance here for either side. Our unofficial clock has hit the 80-minute mark. An attempted rip here, about 25. As a screamer! Oh, and he puts it in the back of the net. An absolute gorgeous kick there. And he slides in front of the crowd. Buckholtz with a thing of beauty for Chiles. Laces down bottom corner. Absolutely splendid goal there from the Timberwolves. And number 7 in the state may have just pulled a Houdini act to get away with a win to push it to 13-2. Unofficially, I have it as being time here. Ball in for Florida High. If there is any time left, maybe one more chance. Here, unofficial clock says they got a couple more minutes on the stadium clock. But I think we're just about ready to blow the whistle as we are watching the head referee here. But an absolute gorgeous free kick shot from about 25 yards out, giving Chiles the 2-1 advantage down here in Southwood. Service over the top. Florida High, of course, trying to spark an opportunity. Cervantes. Service looking for Ariaza. He heads it back into the box. Help coming here. Garcia, full stretch. Wants to make sure he gets that one. And this may be time if Garcia lets this one hang a little bit. Over the top. And this look, by my count, we're going into about 2 minutes stoppage time right here. We have had a couple injuries. So, of course, understandable here. They let this one ride, looking for Maldonado. Mayer able to clear this one out. Florida High throw in over here on the near side. Maldonado looking to push. Last chance to dance. Next one, maybe the last opportunity. It gets through the middle. Service to the perimeter. Hammond on it. Looking for some service into traffic. Deflected ball. He'll collect. He's got to swing it back to the back ride here to Robert Blenman. Service up top. They've just got to get it down to the front line. Desperation time. Chiles can run out the clock if they want to. Sprint to the near side. They try to send it defensively. Nobody home as they try to clear it out. Blenman wants to go over the top. He's got Maldonado in the area. Garcia up to the task. He'll come out and scoop it. And there it is. Chiles escapes here in the south side. Super, super late goal there. Buckholz is able to put it on the free kick. Ended a splendid game, a highly contested game. And Chiles, the number 7 team in the state, they were challenged top to bottom, full 80 minutes. Florida High gave them quite the run. But a goal by my clock in stoppage time gives the number 7 team in the state the victory as they push to 13-2 on the season. Of course, a great matchup here out for Florida High. Here's you look at the matchup here. This will be a good one here in the Big Bend that we've seen so far, all final, of course. From Florida Highs, it's in the book. Now second half of our doubleheader out of the mix as well. As we come on back to wrap up the old post game here. As you can see on the clock, full 80 minutes. We have gone to the conclusion here of this match. Fantastic contest here for Southwood. We got a glorious game, not only in the first contest, a one-score game here between Rickards and Florida High, but also here in the guys' game that you just watched, 2-1. It was a game that was dictated in large portions by the goal-scoring teams. Of course, 5th-minute goal here got us started. Caleb Gaines put it in off a beautiful assist, but then in the second half, Florida High answering well. Maldonado was able to net one in the 49th minute to tie things up. And then with a lot of physical play and a lot of free kicks down the stretch, Chiles in a fantastic position was put just outside, 20-plus yards outside the box. And Buckholz rocketed one the bottom left corner. Chiles, the number 7 team in the state, was able to prevail. Of course, I thought the attack was dangerous for Chiles, and Florida High, I think, you know what they say about moral victories here, but I think Florida High kind of tested their valor, and you kind of see now that they're into the full strength of the team, having the guys from football and cross country back in the squad, exactly the kind of damage these guys can do, and they're going to be dangerous come district play. Florida High, both the guys and the girls will host their districts. Of course, projections would have Maclay and Florida High competing for the overall district championship, but it'll be interesting to watch because the district champ nowadays in the playoffs, you know, they're always changing it, but right now district champ gets the automatic bid, and the runner-up in years past would get the bid too, but they're going to have to go for the at-large bid here in the 2022-2023 season. But I think both these teams deserving of postseason appearance. We know number 7 in the state Chiles should be there, even if they get knocked out early in the tournament with the at-large bid because of the body of work they've put together as they march forward to 13-2. But a fantastic showcase by both of these teams and a wonderful effort for our Game of the Week here from the Varsity Sports Network. So thank you for tuning in with us, however you may be doing so, for either half of the doubleheader here, whether you're watching live or on demand later on. Thank you for coming aboard with us. I'm Andrew Joop, along with the Varsity Sports Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend.